Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to International Shero Entrepreneur Day. My name is Dr. Brenda Combs. I am the ambassador of inspiration, and I bring you greetings from beautiful Podwork Studio located in Mesa, Arizona today. So, welcome, y'all. Where's everyone coming in from today? Please be sure to let me know where you're viewing from in the chat. And we want to go ahead and get started. We have an amazing lineup of amazing speakers today and presenters. We also have a special congressional letter of recognition that we're going to share and an amazing convocation. So, if you are excited, I want you to please go ahead and type Shero in the comments and let us know where you are coming from. Now, before we get started, many of you have reached out to me saying, hey, what is a Shero? What is this all about? And I just want to let you know, every woman is a Shero. Being a Shero is women who lead, who rise, and who help other women. We all are sisters. And this is an opportunity for us to inspire, motivate, and encourage each other. For the month of March, as we celebrate International Women's Month, and March 8th is International Women's Day, but now March 28th is known as International Shero Entrepreneur Day, where we celebrate women around the world in all different walks of life, different capacities, different journeys, but we celebrate each other because we are all Sheros. My story is no different than many others. We all have a story. My story, I overcame 10 years of homelessness and addiction, not believing in myself, to eventually sitting before you today as Dr. Brenda Combs, ambassador of inspiration and founder of Shero Entrepreneurs. So I want to take a time right now and allow everyone to just say hi in the comments. And if there's someone in your life is a special Shero, give her a shout out right now in the comments.
Hello, Brenda. We have Angela in from Canada.
Oh, hi, Angela, joining us from Canada. Welcome. Any other Sheros in there? Thank you for joining.
From California.
Who's from California?
Carissa Kelly, Lexi Bond.
Good morning, Sheros. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being in the room. Hope you're ready to celebrate Sheros around the world. All right. Well, let's get started. Before we move into the speakers, I want to introduce you to someone who is going to bless us with our opening convocation. To begin our program, I would like to welcome someone who is very special to me, Katherine Norland. She's an accomplished actress, speaker, producer, author. I met her at a spiritual retreat where we were able to sit and do praise and worship together. And she is going to bring a very special message of purpose, faith, and encouragement for all Sheros. So ladies, please welcome Katherine Norland.
Thank you so much, and welcome to Shero Entrepreneurs. It is such an honor that you are here, that you chose yourself today, that you made the decision to pour into you, because I know the kind of woman you are. You are the one who pours into everyone else. You show up day after day, putting out fires, holding everything together, and offering encouragement and love and strength to those around you. And yet, God placed a dream inside you, a knowing that you were made for something more, a spark, a fire, an idea that just won't leave you alone. And that idea it could be the very thing that changes your family's future, the very thing that blesses lives far beyond what you can currently see for generations to come and leaving a legacy. You are a woman of resilience, a woman of purpose, a woman called to build a legacy. And like Esther, you were made for such a time as this. And today, it is not an accident. Your presence here is confirmation. So right now, just to begin and open this meeting that's going to be filled with such wonderful inspiration and wisdom that you can take, and nuggets that you're going to implement to expand your life and capacity, I would like to first just start by inviting our Heavenly Father into this moment. God, we welcome you into this space. We ask that you bless every woman here. Open her heart, open her eyes, remind her that she is chosen. Give her not only knowledge today, but courage, confidence, and clarity. Father, for every setback she has faced, remind her it did not make her a failure. It made her brave. That every no, every delay, every closed door was preparation, not punishment. Your word says that in all labor there is profit, that when we delight ourselves in you, that you will give us the desires of our heart. So Lord, I pray that you ignite those desires again, expand her capacity, stretch her vision, and help her release what no longer serves her, the need to be everything to everyone, and help her to step fully into who you have called her to be. Remind her that even though she may not be for everyone, that she is for someone. And as she moves forward today and the weeks and years to come, meet her. Meet her right now, even if she's in the messy middle, and lead her to the mountaintop. We declare that she, every woman on here watching now and who will watch this later, she is more than a conqueror. You are more than a conqueror. Remind her that she is equipped and empowered and anointed for this season. And I pray for an avalanche of success, blessed success, the kind that comes from you and adds no sorrow to it. We thank you and we trust you as we step forward in faith. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Katherine. Thank you so much for that beautiful message and blessing. I pray that you have the most amazing, blessed day. And everyone out there watching, I share with people, if you have not seen Katherine on Darman, you are missing inspiration because she is such an amazing actress. And I love you very much, my sister. Thank you for participating, and I hope to see you when I get back to LA.
Sounds good.
Thank you. So I want to take a minute right now and quickly honor my original Sheros. This whole dream of Shero entrepreneurs started in 2018 with just a vision. And I was able to reach out to 5 women who, not knowing much about what Sheros meant, believed in me and decided to take a chance. And we created our first Shero entrepreneur book. And I want to just quickly say a big shout out to Toy Taylor, to Elizabeth Sink Lopez, to Jasmine Jenkins Dowlings, to Lori Love McDonald. I could not have completed this dream without the original first Sheros, my legacy Sheros. And after this, I will share where you can get a copy of their book, the very first Shero entrepreneur book that came out. So that's available on Amazon. So thank you to my amazing Shero entrepreneurs. And I love you all. So again, Toy Taylor, Lori McDonald, Ava Lewis, Elizabeth Sink Lopez, and Jasmine Jenkins Downings, the first Sheros. So next, I know that we're kind of a little early in the program right now, but I want to check in and see where everyone else is tuning in from. I hear we have someone that's in Poland.
Yes, and the Philippines, we have Mary, and we have some joining us from Scottsdale, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona.
We got Phoenix in the house. We've got the Philippines in the house. We got Poland in the house. We've got Canada in the house. And we have my African sisters on WhatsApp in the house. This is truly amazing. I'm so happy about this. Next, I want to go ahead and move on to share with you something very special that has happened. And we were able to receive congressional recognition for our International Shero Day. And I just want to share this with you real quick. For those of you that are watching and those of you that are listening, let me just quickly let you know that we received from the office, I'm a little nervous, y'all. Oops. From the Office of Representative Quante Cruz, Arizona House of Representatives, District 26, recognizing International Shero Day, March 28th, 2026. Therefore, proudly extends this letter of recognition honoring International Shero Entrepreneur Day. Y'all see this? We made history that today, going forward, will be known as International Shero Entrepreneur Day. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has helped this vision and this dream become a reality. A big shout out to Representative Quante Cruz of District 26, Arizona House of Representatives. She is also a Grand Canyon University graduate. I was also one of her first instructors. Lopes up, y'all. So thank you. We take this honor very seriously. This really opens up many opportunities to let women know that we are valued and that we are important and that we make a difference and that you matter. And we are here together as Sheros to support, to love, to encourage, to nurture, and to uplift each other, to support local businesses where you're at. So if you're in Poland, support your local business. If you're in Canada, support a local business. If you're in Africa, support business. Guatemala, the Philippines. We are all part of the same team, y'all. We are sisters and we are Sheros. And today is an amazing opportunity for us to celebrate each other. So before I bring on our first speaker, I just want to do a check-in again to see where people are coming in from around the world. And if we have any questions, please be sure to put your questions in the chat. And we want to be able to recognize you and celebrate you. And also, any business owners that are watching, please go in the chat. Share your information so that we can celebrate you as well, so that we can share your information with other business owners and entrepreneurs. As this event is being live streamed around the world, it's an opportunity to continue to celebrate and promote your business. You don't have to physically be here in the room, but you are in the room as long as you are on this live, and we want to celebrate you. So please share your information in the chat so that we can celebrate you. Do we have any other shout outs?
From Florida.
From Florida?
We have Dawn from Florida.
Hi, Dawn. How are you, my love? Welcome, Shero.
She's asking where to get the t-shirt.
Oh. Well, you know what? We actually have T-shirts and other Shero merchandise that will be available. I will be sure to send you that info after the event. And for everyone who registered through Eventbrite, I will send you the link for all Shero merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have hats, we have coffee mugs, wine glasses, martini glasses. What are these, like Stanley cups? And yes, I'm more than
Andrea
happy.
Merrill saying congratulations on your award.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. It's amazing what happens when you actually believe in yourself and you're surrounded with a supportive tribe of Sheros who believe in you, love you, and support you. And this has been an amazing journey. I started this journey of celebrating International Shero Entrepreneur Day back in October when it was just a conversation between me and my business coach. And here we are months later, living the dream that just goes to show my Sheros, if you believe in yourself and you never give up, you're willing to do the work, and more importantly, you're willing to invest in yourself, invest in a good coach or a mentor, a business coach, a life coach, someone who can help you narrow down what your goals and dreams are, reveal what the obstacles could potentially be, help you with your mindset, and then help you move forward so that you can achieve your dreams. And as Sandra Yancey from eWomen Network says, make sure that you're doing something daily to make the cash register ring and to push the needle forward. And right now, we are getting ready to push the needle forward as I bring to you our first speaker of the day, our keynote speaker, the amazing Tish Times, who is the owner and founder of the Tish Times Sales Agency. She is all over the place. She's all over the world. She is making an impact. She's making a difference in women's lives. I've seen her all over social media. I've seen her doing praise and worship. And I got such amazing feedback from women who attended her last sales retreat that it prompted me to say, I know she's busy, but let me call because I've got to get her on this program so that she can share with all of you out there what it's going to take for you to make and close the sale. So everybody, let me get your attention and let's give her a big Shero shout out. Let's welcome Miss Tish Times.
Well, hello, first of all. I'm so glad to be here. I'm never too busy to be in the room with you. So welcome to all the Sheros. I am delighted to be here. And it's, for me to hear even that introduction and all the things that I've been blessed to be able to do, I'm always reminded of the time when I didn't see myself as quote unquote Tish Times. I didn't see myself as someone who had confidence or understood who she really was. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know that I was very introverted growing up, still introverted, but not, I've trained myself to do a lot more now. But my introvertedness really, in my opinion, kind of showed up as being afraid of using my voice, being afraid of really showing up. And that came from a lot of things in my childhood and my upbringing. I tell you this story today because it's so important, and I'm really hoping that somebody who is listening today, who will maybe even watch this later, my prayer on the way over here was that somebody would hear something that would change their mindset, that would change their heart, change the way that they think about themselves and how they do things. So our theme today is kind of like owning your value. But I wanted to talk to you about owning your value from a very different perspective. And that is understanding that sometimes owning your value is also recognizing where the source of your issues, shall I say issues, the things that might be driving your behavior, where do they come from? And so today, for me, I'm very clear that I had a concern with scarcity growing up. And it wasn't something that I chose, right? It wasn't something that I woke up and decided that I was going to kind of hold on to or allow it to drive my decisions and drive my life, but I saw it so frequently growing up. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my upbringing. So I grew up in a military household. My dad, when he retired, he was a sergeant major in the Army. So for those of y'all who don't know, that's pretty close. That's as far as you can go as an enlisted person. And we had a middle class upbringing. We lived in a 4-bedroom house. My mom drove a Cadillac all the time. And from the outside looking in, we looked like we were good and we had it together, right? I wore decent clothes to school. You know, we weren't spending a lot of money on clothes, but I definitely didn't look like I was going without. But what was happening on the inside of my house was this. My mom, having grown up in a very impoverished home, her mom passed away when she was 15 years old, and she was literally left to care for 11 siblings. And she found herself always scrimping and trying to be resourceful and figure out how to take care of these children that she did not birth, but she was now responsible for. And, you know, hats off to her, right? Kudos to her for making that happen and taking care of her family. But what happened, what was kind of, I think, planted in her as she grew up was the thought that there's never enough, right? That you always have to save and hold on to everything that you have because you never know when you're going to get more. You're never going to really have enough for the next day. And unfortunately, growing up in my household, my 4-bedroom, Cadillac drive-in, 2 cars, two garages, four children, we felt like you would think that we were doing well. But because of my mom's upbringing, every decision and every conversation around money always kind of installed scarcity into me. So we had 2 deep freezers and 2 refrigerators full of food at all times. And that sounds like, oh my God, you guys had plenty, but the plenty was only because of the fear of not having enough. We had 4 cabinets, extra cabinets outside of the ones in the kitchen. They were full to the brim of canned goods at all times. Again, not because we were like overabundant, it was because there was a fear of what if we run out? We had food under our beds. No joke, literally, we had foods under our beds at all times in case there was a tragedy. And when the year 2000 rolled around, if you all remember, there was this fear of the Y2K. For those of y'all who were born, I know some of y'all might be young, but there was this fear around what's going to happen and are you going to have enough food? Well, my relatives were saying, well, we're going to the people's house, because that was my maiden name, the people's house, because there's always going to be plenty there because of the way my mom hoarded food. And why do I share that? I want you to understand how that fear of not having enough began to feed every decision, every conversation, all of my sales, efforts when I finally started my own business. And I had no idea that that's what it was coming from. But it actually created an environment where, because I was afraid of not having enough, if I was having a sales conversation, instead of thinking of how can I be a blessing to this person, how can I ensure that they have exactly what they need from me, through me, my thought was, I've got to make sure that we have enough to pay our payroll. We have to have enough to take care of this business. And it began to drive every decision that I was making far before that, but definitely after I started my business. And so that tape running through my mind, right? That tape that was constantly, you're never going to have enough. There's always going to be a deficit. So even when we started making millions of dollars in the staffing company that I started, that was my first business, it still felt like it was inadequate. It was insufficient. There was always a fear of not having enough. And so what happens when you are in that headspace of scarcity is this. You will self-sabotage yourself all the way back to not having enough, because that's your foundation. That is where you begin to believe you belong. And so as growing up, growing into a young adult, getting married, even though I married an amazing man who had his own stories that he came from, He came from his own issues with financial, lack and thoughts around it. Similar household too, a household where the father was doing well, the mother was a teacher, so they weren't financially lacking, but there was a mindset there also. So what ended up happening is when we started living and driving our lives forward, we began to sabotage ourselves right back to having evictions, having repos, having financial chaos. And I tell you this because there are people that are so ashamed of where they've come from, so ashamed of what has happened in their lives. They would never, ever share this type of thing from the stage. But I think it's important to understand that when I'm standing in front of someone and I'm afraid to tell them what my products cost, so I start discounting because I believe that they're not going to say yes, not because of their capacity, but because of my capacity. I had to learn how to reprogram my mind. I heard someone say something that I thought was really powerful. We always see our brain as this powerful, amazing, beautiful thing, which it is, right? I believe that that's the case. But the brain is also a child. And why I say that is it's programmable. It's plastic, meaning it can be reformatted and changed by our own will, by us deciding how we're going to reimagine things and speak differently to ourselves. And I've had to do that for such a long time because of what I saw. So I had a mother who was fear-based, but then I had a father who was impulse-based. And his thought process was, we better spend it now because I don't know when we're going to have it again. So I had a mom who would save and literally hoard everything, and a father who would spend pretty much everything. And let me tell you this. What that created for me was desperation, right? I grew up with fear and urgency, and it creates I call it a spirit of desperation where you're always chasing the next thing. And so it took me a long journey to be able to get to the place where I then began to believe that I can be different, I can have different, I could sell different, right? I can show up different. It was a long journey, but this is important for us to understand that scarcity begins to cost you. It costs you more than money. It costs you character. It costs you integrity. It costs you alignment. And so I remember having a coach that said something to me years ago, and she said, I believe that everything's going to change for you when you get in alignment. And I didn't understand what alignment meant. Alignment was like this esoteric, what does that mean? I just couldn't quite capture what it really meant for me. And it took me time to understand that I was saying one thing and behaving differently. And the reason I was behaving differently is because I was thinking differently. And so I was saying yes to the wrong clients because I was afraid another one wouldn't come. I was underpricing my services far beyond what they were worth, far beyond what I was delivering to a client, because I didn't trust that people would pay more. I was forecasting, right? Forecasting my beliefs on my potential clients. How many of you all have ever been there before, where your mindset is causing others or inviting others to join you in the party that you have created for yourself? I was over-delivering and over-committing because, once again, I didn't understand my own value. I didn't understand how I could potentially be a high net worth individual or a person who could charge what they were really worth. And then I avoided all money conversations. And I remember being in a situation where I could show up and shine and share all of the things that I was able to do for a client. But the moment we began to have the money conversation, everything shifted. My body language shifted. I could feel it in my body. And guess what? If I could feel it, don't you believe that that potential client could feel it as well? Right? And so I want you all, as you're listening to this, I want you to kind of think for a moment, when is the time? Has there ever been a time where you knew what you did was good? You know that you were the master at your industry. You know that you're able to deliver at a high level. But when it comes time to talk price, when it comes time to talk invoicing and so on and so forth, you find yourself shrinking back. There's a scripture that says that God takes no pleasure in that soul that draws back. Sometimes we draw back because we don't understand who we are. And believe it or not, I was that person for so many years. I didn't believe who I was. I didn't understand what was put on the inside of me and who I was called to be and how I was called to serve, and that if I were to open up my mouth and serve at the level that I was supposed to serve at, that people's lives would be changed. I found myself creating this facade of outward, we call it Facebook famous now, outward success, but inward just absolute, I won't say failure because I wasn't failing, I just didn't know that yet. Inside I was broken and I hadn't found the place of healing yet. I hadn't mastered money thinking. I hadn't mastered sales thinking. And so all of the things I was doing outwardly were so disconnected from the things that I was doing inwardly. When my coach told me that I was out of alignment, that's what she was referring to. She was talking about the fact that my presence and how I would show up in a room was disconnected from my private thinking, how I was showing up inside, how I was showing up for myself. And so often we're so just charismatic and amazing for the people on the outside, but we don't show up for ourselves that way. And that means that when I'm talking to myself, instead of saying, girl, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, there's no one like you, you are designed and called for such a time as this. Instead of saying those things to myself, I would say them to my clients, but to me, I would say, you are a failure. You are never going to get this right. There's absolutely no way you're going to ever be able to master this thing. And what ended up having to happen for me, I had to stop saying, how do I make more money? Because this was the thing I didn't mention, is that because you all know my company is Tish Time Sales Agency, I can sell. So instead of dealing with the issue that was at hand, I would just go sell something because I would not know how to deal with what I had and I would sabotage it away, but I had the gift of being able to go sell more. So I could go get more money, but this is the thing that I had to learn. Making more money doesn't cure the issue of the brokenness and the self-sabotage and the lack of valuing yourself. And so there'll be a vicious cycle that can happen in perpetuity unless you deal with the thing. And now I'm talking about money and scarcity because that's my story, but I want you to identify what's the thing that you know every January 1st, you're saying to yourself, I'm going to get this under control this year. I am going to master this year. I'm going to conquer it. I'm not ending this year the same way that I started it. And then next January, you're having that same conversation about that same thing. Raise your hand if you had that happen before, right? If you've been in that situation where the thing that you wanted to conquer last year is the thing that you're trying to conquer this year, and the thing that you tried to conquer the year before. That was what it was for me. And so I had to rebuild my approach to business. I had to rebuild my approach to sales. I had to rebuild my approach to life, in all honesty, from the inside out. So we're trying to often cure an internal problem with external solutions. And I love, as a coach, I love giving people strategies and solutions and all of the things that they can apply to their funnels and their sales processes and systems. And I think all of those things are important. But let me tell you this, if you don't deal with what's happening on the inside of you, no external bandage is going to heal what is broken on the inside of you.
Amen.
That's just the truth. And so I had to identify that there was an issue. And I'll tell you, for me, that only God could fix. For me, it was that only God could fix. And once I identified that this is not a problem that another book, another class, another coach, and all the things, and again, all of those things are crucial to your success. So please do all those things also. But first, you have to be willing to deal with the issue that's creating the problem in the first place. So for me, once I understood that this was a bigger issue than a sales problem or a business problem, I stopped chasing clients, right? I began to qualify instead of crave. I priced based on value and not based on fear. And I stopped selling to be liked and started selling to solve problems. And it changed everything for me. So it became about clarity, confidence, and alignment for me. And so from this point on, it's like I changed my mindset and then my sales began to follow. I changed my mindset and my business began to change. And we didn't even talk about this, but I changed my mindset and my marriage got even better. And we've been great, thank God, for over 30 years. But things began to change when I began to deal with the issues that were happening on the inside of me. And so this is what I want you to kind of walk away with. Today, money, scarcity, the issues that I dealt with before, they're no longer my boss. I've made a very clear decision in my life, put a line in the sand and said, look, I'm not going to bow to the things that for so long kind of led me around and caused me to make bad decisions, despise myself, right? All of these things. I decided, look, for me, God is my CEO. I am going to deal with the internal issues. I am going to be clear about how and why I show up to sell. I'm not selling because I need something. I'm selling because I want to solve a problem. I want to be of service. And I want the person that I encounter to be better as a result of our interaction. If you've ever been in that place before, I invite you to have that same conversation with yourself. Realize that you can reprogram, reset, reform your mind by what you say to yourself, and the things that you say to yourself, you believe more than what anybody else says. So change what you're saying, change what you're thinking, change how you're showing up, and begin to change how you serve the people. Thank you all so much. I loved being here today, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from you all.
Oh, thank you, Tish. Now, before you leave, I have a quick question, because I know that mindset when it comes to sales is a big thing, and it really makes the difference. So here's my question is, what is the one sales mindset shift that every Shero must embrace if she is truly wants to turn her purpose into profit?
Well, as I said earlier, I believe, and this is a study I'm working on because it's just so powerful, the neuroplasticity, that the mind can be reformatted, it can be shifted, it can be changed. And so if a Shero entrepreneur would believe that, what I believed all of my life up until this point can be changed. Instead of thinking, well, this is how I've always done it, this is what I know, this is what I went to school for, all of those things are great. But if you would be willing to believe that I can make a different decision and have an entirely different life, I can make more than I've ever made, I can help more people than I've ever helped, it can change everything. But it comes down to you first believing. So belief is the first step in making a mindset shift, and then behavior will only follow once we've made a decision to believe. So change the belief system, believe that you can be a million, multi-million, billion even dollar earner. I get bold when it comes to making those declarations, right? And if they would be willing to believe that they can earn more, they can serve more, that's the first step.
All righty.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listen, everyone, you can get more information about Tish Times. Her info will be in the chat. And at the end, we also have our digital VIP swag box where you can reach out to her. And also stay tuned to join us at the VIP networking hour from 2 to 3, and you can ask more detailed questions. All righty. Thank you so much, Tish.
Thank you.
Brenda, we have quite a few people who are commenting on what Tish say. Would you like me to share some?
Yes, please do before we segue to our next speaker. Thank you.
Excellent. We loved, I think the overall message here was that Tish was speaking the love language of many in here on how you can reprogram your mind, body, and energy.
Yeah. Yay.
That's good. Yeah,
We
definitely.
had somebody say that let's see. Oh, the price, the discounting, over giving, but undervaluing what you're giving. That seems to be the number one mic drop moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm guilty of that myself.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you, Trish. We are going to move forward with our next set of speakers. Now, I'm going to be bringing to you, we have two featured speakers. We have Carissa Kelly, who is the founder and head of the Co-work Group. And then we have Sharice King, who is the CEO of What She Said Productions. So first coming to the screen is going to be Carissa Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Dr. Brenda, and hello to all the Sheros all over the world watching us and being with us this morning, evening, or whatever time you all are in.
Yeah, thank you. So why don't you quickly, in 1 minute, give us a little bit of your background, and then I have specific questions that Sheros want to know.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I'm Carissa. I'm born and raised in the Philippines. As you can see in my ears here, I have a Philippine flag on one ear and American flag on the other. I just became an official American citizen literally last Thursday, so this has been a momentous week, honoring both of my cultures. I'm the CEO and founder of the Co-work Group, and we are on a bold mission to helping 1 million businesses scale while also helping 1 million Filipino remote professionals back home.
Awesome. Congratulations. And I did see you become a citizen. Congratulations. Okay, so I have two questions for you. Here we go. Number one, what inspired you to start the Co-work Group, and what problem were you hoping to solve?
Yeah. Oof, that is a loaded question. For a lot of our business owners here, entrepreneurs, most likely in your journey in your business, you probably hired someone, and that someone could have been, let's say, a virtual assistant. Now, the Philippines, my home country, we are home to at least 1 million Filipino virtual assistants. Now, the reality of the industry that I'm in is that even up until today, there are still Filipino virtual assistants who are getting paid as low as $1 an hour. To me, as a Filipina, as an entrepreneur, as an advocate, it's an insulting rate. And at the same time, it's also a systemic problem. So that really is the biggest problem that we're trying to solve here in Co-work, making sure that, yes, our businesses all over the world can grow, but our people can also grow with us. And growing our people, growing with our people entails taking care of them, and taking care of them entails paying them with an ethical and equitable wage. So that really is our mission here today.
Thank you. All right, and the second question, for women who feel unsure where to begin, what is the first step that should take towards entrepreneurship?
I think for me as an immigrant and coming from a Filipino household, biggest mindset shift that I had to do for myself is to stop thinking small. I have to start thinking bigger and bigger and bigger. And the moment that I started doing that, it did not only launch my business, but it 10x our profit. It 42x the clients that we were able to do business with, and it 57x the jobs that we created in our home country, the Philippines. But we can't do that if we stayed small. So it really is a mindset shift to force yourself to think bigger, be in rooms where people are more successful than you, be in rooms where people dream bigger than you, because that's how you can really, really make a difference.
Yes, totally agree. And everyone out there, if you agree, I want you to go into the chat and type in the word value, because it really does come down to the mindset. And everyone, please stick around for the VIP networking hour so that you can have more one-on-one time with Carissa, because I know there's a lot of people out there that need virtual assistants, and she has the key to the kingdom to help you with that. So stay tuned for more information. Thank you so much, Carissa.
Thank you.
Next, our other featured speaker is Sharice King, the CEO of What She Said Productions. Sharice King is passionate about helping women use their voices and to step into leadership. Welcome, Sharice.
Thank you, Dr. Brenda Combs, and thank you, everyone, all the Sheros around the world. Morning, good afternoon, daytime, midtime, whatever it is. Happy holiday. I'm I'm excited to be here, and thank you for this opportunity, all you Sheros who are believing in themselves.
So, in 1 minute, give us some information and background about yourself before we go into your Shero questions.
Sure. My background for me is I've been now here a resident of Arizona for 11 years. If you see behind me, I betted on myself. I always bet on me. And what happened was there was a life-changing event. My brother was a victim of homicide, third person in my family. And what that did, it catapulted me to leave from where I was to go to a new place, to come to Arizona. And so what happened from that is after taking care of my mother, me being a realtor and an entrepreneur, I always tell people you have to bet on you because wherever you are with yourself.
Yes.
So you have to be confident. It may not look like it makes sense, but it has to make faith. So you'll do things that other people will be watching and inspired because they want to see if they can do it and how you did it. And they will tell me, you make it look easy to take care of your mother. It wasn't, but it was my passion and my purpose.
Right.
So I believe that you have to always bet on you to
That's
get where
right.
you are to the next step because people are watching you how you're going through that situation in life.
Yes.
That's a part of me. So now I'm the CEO, actor, author of What She Said Productions.
All right, thank you. Well, let's get to it. We have 2 Shero questions for you. Question number 1, Sharice, what does strong leadership look like for women entrepreneurs today in 1 minute?
Today, strong leadership looks like entrepreneurs in today. Well, I'm seeing that a lot of people are being displaced, mostly women. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, women of a certain great, lovely maturity have had experiences. And when you have those experiences, it's ability to show you what it is that you can use to start your own business. Maybe it may be cake baking, it may be cleaning, it may be real estate, it may be speaking, it may be whatever that is. So strong leadership looks like women who have gone through different life changes, who've overcome things, that they can use those skills and those experiences to be strong leadership, to also reach back and help those who are younger, but also be a community to the women leadership of today.
I love that. The community part. Awesome. Question number 2. What is one lesson that you learned in business that changed how you personally approach leadership?
One thing that I've learned is that we have to give grace to everyone because everyone is going through something. So you have to realize that even though I've gone through something, somebody else is. So be gracious with people to understand where they are so that you can relate. Be transparent, let them know that you're human. When they see that you're human, they'll be able to trust you and they'll open up. And it also allows you to build good relationships in entrepreneurship in these days. So being graceful, being patient, and allowing someone to explain. So you have to understand where they are, who they are, and what they come from, so you can realize how you need to interact with that person and why they respond the way they do.
Great answer. I mean, yes, you are truly a Shero. So everyone, thank you, Sharice. At the end of the program today, you will be able to interact with Sharice and with Carissa Kelly during our VIP networking. So if you have questions, please go in the chat right now and put your questions in there for Sharice or for Carissa Kelly, and we will make sure that we share all of their contact information. And when you're looking to hire a virtual assistant, or you're looking for someone to help you with real estate or What She Said Productions, we got you, Shero, because we are celebrating women today. So those of you that are watching and want to celebrate these 2 guest speakers, please go in the chat right now and give them a big shout out. Go in the chat and shout leadership right now. Thank you, Carissa, and thank you, Sharice. Okay, do we have any more new guests tuning in from around the world, Veronica?
Yes, we sure do. I think we have about 50 people who are commenting. We have Spirit Stone Wellness. We have Casey English. We have.
Hi, Casey. That's my Dallas sister. My Dallas Shero sister. Everyone
we have
is my
Susan
sister.
Curtis. We have.
Hi, Susan.
Jill from the Philippines.
Hi, Jill. We got a lot of Philippine Shero sisters tuning in. Yes.
I see Beverly Brown and Bobby Bennett.
Hey, Bev, my first lady. And you said Bobby Bennett?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, Bobby plays, is it Gladys on local Phoenix TV. She plays Gladys on I think it's a plumbing commercial, but I call her Betty Blind Eye because she's also an actress in my theater group. So is Sharice King and so is Beverly Brown.
We have lots of people typing in value and leadership.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much. So I think right here, we're going to take about a 5-minute break so that we can prepare for our panel speakers to come on. And my goodness, you guys, we have an amazing lineup of some fantastic speakers who are going to pour tips, suggestions, leadership, Shero goals, the do's and don'ts of how to make the cash register ring, how to make those goals go from reality to becoming solid business plans. And we also want to celebrate Sheros that are tuning in the WhatsApp that are in Africa right now. And I just want to take a moment to really tell everyone how much we love and appreciate you. This is a day of history as we celebrate International Shero Entrepreneur Day, March 28th, 2026, known as International Shero Day, as we celebrate women around the world. So stay tuned, everyone. This is a time to go grab a drink. Message your friends who have not logged in yet so that they can participate for the last hour of this amazing program. And we will be back in about 5 minutes with our panel.
Hey, Dr. Brenda, hey, before we break, we have 2 other speakers that would love to go on. We have Marissa and Magdalena, and they are just waiting to jump on and be interviewed.
Oops. Oh, Lord, I jumped ahead of my cue cards. All right. Well, hey, I am a human. I'm a Shero, so I'm sure you ladies will forgive me for that overlook. And I must say, this is kind of my own fault. And many of you are going to laugh because you've heard me say this multiple times. I'm only wearing one contact. And I'm extremely nearsighted, and I didn't want to wear my readers today. So, all right, so forgive me. So let me bring on our very special guest speaker. We have 2 amazing speakers. We have one who is local here to Arizona, and we have an amazing woman that is tuning in from Poland. So let's shift into something equally important. Right now, we're going to talk about health and well-being. And I want to bring on my soul sister, Marisa. Hi, Marisa.
Hi, Brenda. So good to see you. You look beautiful. You are glowing. And what a gift you are to so many people all over the world and to so many women. Thanks
Thank you,
for this day.
Marisa.
Thank you for the honor of having me here.
Marisa is my health and wellness guru and expert. And we are also eWomen Network sisters, and we are Shero sisters. And Marissa, I don't know if you can see me, but I'm wearing my diva pin as we also honor one of our Shero sisters who has gone to heaven and to do her diva dance with Jesus. So, Marisa, I want to go ahead and allow you to share the floor. You've got 2 minutes, talk about yourself, and then I have one closing question for you. Take it
Okay,
away.
sounds great. I'll try to do it all in 2 minutes, bringing back my television news days. I would always go over, by the way. Hi, everybody. I'm Marisa Maggio Harrelson. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm a mother of 2 adult young children and a wife for almost 28 years to a wonderful man named Scott. And I am the founder of Inspire My Change. And this is where I help women activate their health, including the brain, Tish, through mindfulness, yoga, breath work. You can actually change your neurotransmitters, redirect them, meditation, and just help women create alignment, and men, a few good men, no, lots of good men out there, but help people create alignment as well, income through cellular wellness and a modern business model. So that's what I do. And why is prioritizing my health, and why should we all care about prioritizing our health and wellness? Because it is your lifeline. And without it, our health and nothing else matters. It is the most important thing. It is not separate from your success in business. It supports it. And the truth is, you are the asset. So you may hear there's a health revolution happening. I just want to say I don't want to leave any entrepreneur left behind, because if we are constantly, out there grinding it, we're going to get burnt out and we're going to get depleted. And this beautiful business that we've created for so long is not going to be there one day. So we want to cherish what we're creating and what we're building, right? Our whole heart and soul is in this. So we spend a lot of time on the branding and the growing and the leading the teams and creating the income and the serving the clients and carrying that vision. But if our energy is chaotic and our focus is chaotic and our resilience is chaotic, then we are going to be depleted. And I've experienced this too. I'm also talking about myself. So, everything we're building gets impacted. So build the health foundation. I went to the gym this morning. I said, I can't get on this call. I can't talk to people if I'm not doing the do, if I'm not doing what I'm talking about, right? So I needed to get clear with everything I'm doing. And my stamina is also part of my wellness, because if I'm not getting strong, building my bones, I'm not a spring chicken, then I'm not going to be able to keep fueling what I'm doing. So it also helps emotionally with that emotional regulation. It helps us with our sleep, our hormonal health, so we're not witchy. There's another word for that. Our nervous system, so that it's regulated. Our gut health, which is everything. If the gut is off, everything's off. So we have to be able to handle stress, because building a business, being an entrepreneur, is stressful at times. Yes. So we have to have those tools so that we can lead and so we can have sustainability. So if I can drive anything home, I would just say, get in alignment, don't get burnt out, do things that make you get out there and take breaks during the day, get grounded, get out in nature, get some sunshine, have some sustainable energy, fuel your tank, right? We don't question fueling our cars and fine tuning them and getting them tuned up. We need to tune ourselves up. So I'm just very passionate about health and wellness. I want to be here for my kids and grandkids one day. I hope to God I have grandkids one day. But what I do is I do daily rituals. I meditate. I move my body. Breath work is incredible. And then I also take cellular activators. So I take products that reduce inflammation and oxidative stress and just activate my own body's systems so that I don't have to medicate symptoms. That is the last thing I want to do, is take medicine. So prioritizing your wellness is not selfish.
Thank you. Thank you. You did a great job answering the question about why prioritizing your health and wellness is important as an entrepreneur. And I want everyone to know that at the end, please go in the chat if you have questions for Marisa. She will also be available during the VIP. She's got some great products that she wants to share with you. So this will be a wonderful opportunity for you to stick around, ask questions, and then meet with her in our VIP session at 2:00. Next, I want to bring on Magdalena Juleta Braya, and she is coming in, you guys, from Poland. Welcome, Magdalena.
Hello, Brenda. Hello.
How are you? What time is it there?
Thank you so much. Right now we have 8 o'clock p.m., so
Okay.
it is late.
Let me just move. I see. Let everyone can see me. Oh, now I can see myself. I believe it's
Okay,
better view.
thank you. So,
Yes.
Magdalena and I met in the YEA Global Young Entrepreneur Alliance, where I have recently been assigned as United States Director. And we were in training together, and she's an author. We are Shero sisters. I love her dearly. So,
Thank you.
Magdalena, share a little bit about yourself, and then I want you to answer this question. How does mindset and personal well being influence your long term success as an entrepreneur?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, like Brenda introduced me, I am the author of my first book, Life Speaks to You, which was written in United States. And answering to your question, from my experience, because at the age of 22, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. So my journey was about healing. So from my experiences, I know that our well-being is the most important to succeed in everything. And when we have a vision of being a long-term successful entrepreneur, our mindset and well-being is on the stage. And we're supposed to love ourselves unconditionally, to knowing that our body, mind, and spirit is as a one to achieve in the healthy way our entrepreneurship goals. And sometimes when life is just throws at us, unexpected experiences, we become more resilient, stronger, choosing great mindset and well-being to overcome all obstacles with faith and grace without hurting ourselves. It was my experience living in Los Angeles over 5 years. And when my book, Life Speaks to You, had been published and uploaded on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, I had to leave for Poland to start anew.
Oh.
When we have a good mindset, we can see our progress and also celebrate that. The right mindset, well-being, give us motivation to follow our heart's desires as an entrepreneur. Also, we have more equipped and having without feeling of burnout in the process. Also, my experiences showed that being connected to our intuition and follow the signs, sometimes we have saved our lives. And join our like-minded people, our goals can be reached easier as we are all connected on the deeper level.
Yes, yes.
This approach influences our moods, money, connections, and allow ourselves to have peace with whatever it is right now. And then we can just boldly succeed in our long-term entrepreneurship journey over the years. Thank you so much. I believe that it is the question was answered, because really for me to understand, like, being on this journey for healing, for becoming entrepreneur, it is a process, the long process to understand how we're supposed to act, and from that our heart is the most important.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you so
so
much.
much. All right, everyone, please go in the chat and let's give some mindset comments for Magdalena and for Marisa. And again, stick around so that you can communicate with them in the VIP networking hour. Any questions you have, go ahead, post it in the chat right now. Thank you so much, Magdalena, for joining us from Poland. Thank you for Marisa for joining us in Phoenix, or I think you're in Scottsdale. And right now, we're going to take a break real quick so that we can get our panel speakers set up. And while we're on that break, Veronica, any questions that we can answer, any shout outs going on in the chat as we prepare for the panel speakers to come on for our last hour?
Yes, we've got many people asking how to connect with all your speakers. And so I've been dropping the links in the chat that go directly to their websites. And I'm just asking now to put their favorite mic drop moments in here from everybody today as we go on our break for a few minutes.
Yes. And real quick, I just want to throw this out. There are many Sheros who we have lost, who have gained their wings and their Shero cape. So let's take a moment of silence and honor those Sheros that are now our angels above and watching over us. Let's take a moment of silence. Thank you. We love all of our Sheros. And so right now we're going to break, and we'll be back in just a few short minutes with our panel and our last hour of this amazing International Shero Entrepreneur Day. Welcome back. Welcome back. During that short break, the song that was playing, Talk to Brenda, was written and performed by Amanda Mandy Hendricks. That is a theme song that she wrote for me, and I use it at many of my speaking engagements. Before I bring the panel on, I see that there's a lot of questions in the chat in regards to our VIP networking hour, which is from 2 to 3. And yes, the answer is yes. There's still time for you to grab a ticket to join us in the VIP networking hour from 2 to 3. Veronica will put that link in the chat if you want to participate and have more in-depth conversations and networking with all of our speakers. So now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our panel of esteemed speakers. We have LaQuincia Nichols from experiencingcoaching.com, Shero Rhodes Alexander of Life's Design Coaching, Mel Carr, Six Figure Chicks, Rebecca Elizabeth Whitman of the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast, Kristen Joy Higgins of Joyful Communications, also my editor, and LJ of LJ's LLC. Welcome, my amazing panel speakers.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you so much for having us here.
Okay, now we're going to do this panel a little bit different. I'm not going to ask the same question for each panel speaker. So each panel speaker has a different question, and we have 3 rounds of questions. So I'm going to start first with LaQuincia. LaQuincia, give us your info, give us a little bit of your background, and then I'm going to ask you your question.
Absolutely. I want to say again, thank you to everyone, to all the participants and everyone in the background who's helping to put on such an amazing event. My name is LaQuincia Nichols. I'm originally from sunny California, but now I'm out here in Arizona. Like many women, I spent a long time in corporate, really serving the needs of others, and realized at one point that that wasn't working for me anymore. I wanted to really have the ability to create and curate what I wanted for my world to look like. So that is really what helped me found my business, experiencingcoaching.com. And I really lean into women who are ready to think about what are the conversations they're avoiding in their life, what are the costs of not having those conversations, and how can we create a win-win opportunity if we handle the chaos that sometimes comes from conflict in a more strategic and empathetic way.
Thank you. Thank you. Here's your first question. LaQuincia, what moment made you realize entrepreneurship was your path in 1 minute?
Absolutely. For me, it wasn't a light bulb moment. It was a breaking point, and I think that call that some of us get from our leaders, right, over the last few years here recently. I found myself sitting in many a corporate meeting, watching brilliant women swallow their ideas, also taking on disrespect and calling it keeping the peace, right? I realized that I started doing the same, and that hit me that my silence was costing me. It was not helping me move forward in my career, my relationships, or my finances. I had become disengaged. I was wanting more impact. I wanted to feel more appreciated. And I wanted relationships that were rooted in honesty and transparency and also accountability. So in that moment, I knew my assignment was bigger than what my corporate job had for me.
Yeah.
I was tired of climbing the ladders and systems, and it was to really build rooms where I could tell the truth, set boundaries, and still belong. So entrepreneurship became the path that felt most honest for me. And it was rooted in the work that I was called to do. So while I received the call that many of us have received here over the last few years, I reframed it from feelings of abandonment into how can I curate the opportunity and the environment that really supported my goals and my dreams.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank
Next,
you.
we have Cheryl Rhodes Alexander. Cheryl, give us the name of your business, and then I will move forward with your question.
Thank you, everyone. I'm so honored to be here. My name is Cheryl Rhodes Alexander. I am the founder and CEO of Life Design Coaching.
Thank you, Cheryl. Awesome. And Cheryl is local in Arizona. Cheryl, what inspired you to start your coaching business? What was the inspiration in 1 minute?
After a 30-plus year career in human resources and leadership and supporting organizations, giving leadership advice, and helping to navigate challenges in the workplace, and knowing that although I was helping them, they weren't helping me. Often I was the only woman of color at the table, but yet I was not allowed to speak. I didn't have a voice. I didn't have an opinion that mattered. And I was often invited to the table, but not allowed to be a thought leader, and not able to share what it means to have a voice and to have ideas that really matter, that can help and change and grow an organization, that can allow leaders to thrive instead of just surviving. Yeah. And it was one of those moments where I was holding my breath and got to a point when I retired that it was time for me to exhale.
All right. Thank you. Well done. Next, we have Mel Carr, who is the owner, founder, amazing best-selling author of Six Figure Chicks. Mel, give us a little bit of your background, and then I want you to share with how did relationships and networking influence your journey? Six Figure Chick.
I love hearing that, because I love more than anything stepping into a room with six-figure chicks, international best-selling authors all over from all different editions. It's like reunion time everywhere I go. I was just in Texas with amazing women there, and it's all about coming together. So you know me, I'm Mel C. I am the founder of Clover C, which is an executive virtual assistant agency, all women based here in the US. Founder of the Clover C, or Six Figure Chicks book series, which is now global. Yes. And the proud creator of Her Right to Rise nonprofit, where we take our authors, their stories, and we leave large impacts into young women's lives all over the world. I built the platforms to give women that visibility, credibility, and a voice that they deserve to share, because I believe every woman in this room on the channels are sitting on stories that could change their business, open doors, and change other people's lives.
Amen. Thank you, Mel. Awesome, awesome. Next, let's move on to Rebecca Elizabeth Whitman. And Rebecca, give us a little bit about yourself, where you're calling in from today. And your question is, what helped you build credibility and visibility in your industry?
Thank you so much. It's so great to be a part of this amazing event, Brenda. I am the Magnetic Abundance Mentor, and I teach women to achieve success through aligning their life in 7 pillars of abundance rather than the hustle and grind. The 7 pillars of abundance are spirituality, fitness, emotions, romance, mental, social, and financial. And I'm very passionate about helping women overcome burnout and overwhelm. I found, what was the question again about visibility? How did I get visibility?
Yeah, what helped you build credibility and visibility?
Yes. What helped me build credibility and visibility was my podcast. When I was a brand new coach, I didn't really have a following on social media, but I started a podcast. I was at a seminar, and the coach said at lunch, invite 5 people to be on your podcast that you really respect. And I did that without having a podcast. And one said yes. And I was like, oh boy, this is someone I really respect. I better figure out how to start a podcast fast. And I have been recording every week since March of 2020. I've had almost 300 guests and 300 episodes.
Awesome.
And my podcast has been ranked top 50 in the country under the category of education. It's called the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. And Brenda has been an illustrious guest on it. And I hope you guys check it out. It's an amazing podcast. And that is really what brought me into the spotlight.
Thank you. Good answer. Next, we're going to move on to Miss Kristen. Kristen, share a little bit about yourself and your business, and then what motivated you to step into entrepreneurship?
Of course. Thank you so much, Dr. Brenda. This is an amazing day. I'm Kristen Joy Hugans, founder of Joyful Communications, where we write and edit books, newsletters, and meaningful marketing copy for businesses worldwide. And we believe in the power of creativity, human connection, and human-made content. I also lead Authors in Action, an online writing community that guides authors to get their books done and provides community, resources, and accountability along the way. I love working with women entrepreneurs to help them share their story in a clear, confident, and compelling way, because your story matters. So why not make it count? And my question is,
what motivated you to actually step into this role?
Yes. So I am going into year 4 of my business. And when I began, I was going through my second divorce. And that was a major motivation for me. It was a really hard time, but I was motivated to own my calling, to listen, to pay attention, and to respond, and to do what I was called to do, both for myself and for my children. I have 2 teenagers, and to show them that you can do what you love, be creative, and be prosperous at the same time.
Amen. Awesome. Our final panel speaker for our first round of questions is Miss Ellie J. Share where you're calling from and a little bit about your business, and then tell us what was the vision behind starting your business in 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brenda. And I am honored to be the caboose of this wonderful train of speakers. And so I have LJ's LLC, and I partner with high-performing, high-capacity, heart-centered women who want to get in alignment. So as Tish was talking earlier today, I was like, oh my goodness, was she reading my stuff? So I felt it's so awesome to be here and to be around other women getting in alignment. And the question was about the vision behind starting my business.
Correct.
Wonderful question, but it had nothing to do with vision. It came from a realization. I realized that I learned to perform strength at a high level, meet expectations, and do my best to hold everything together. But that was not helping me to lead from who I was on the inside and what was true to me. So I see that pattern in other high capacity women. So my work exists to partner with them to where we can recognize where they're operating from expectation and those identities, and shift into operating from internal authority where their leadership is actually sustained.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good answer. We're going to move on to round 2. Now, round 2, our theme is growth and challenges. So in this round, I'm just going to ask each of you a question. You have 1 minute to respond, starting with LaQuincia. What challenge forced you to grow the most as a leader? That's a great question.
That's a really great question. And I think it requires a lot of honesty and transparency, which was something I've been focused on as I've been growing my business. And the challenge that stretched me the most was really having to be honest about the money and the boundaries within my own business. I think sometimes when you transition from corporate or from a different business, you get into entrepreneurship, you think you're getting into time and freedom immediately, but sometimes you change the 9 to 5 to a 25/8. Right. And so you have to figure out how do you bring the work-life harmony, because I don't know if balance really exists. Now, I would say that I was the woman preaching a lot about conflict and clarity while finding myself, a lot like Tish talked about, secretly overgiving, overcommitting, undervaluing myself. And so I had to really learn that a part of me was afraid to share and tell other people, hey, I am overextended. I'm doing too much. And a lot of that was about, I was afraid that they may walk away, and being able to say truly, hey, this is my rate. This is my capacity. This is no longer okay. This is the way. I cannot do it any further to continue my growth. And to be able to do that without apologizing was the key for me, right? That really forced for me to grow as a leader. So now when I ask other women to advocate for themselves about where they're in conflict, I'm not asking them to do anything that I haven't had to do within my own business. So I can speak from a place of that inner authority and really being honest and saying, you know what, I get it. I know that we've all sort of put the sort of fake it till you make it in front of ourselves, but now let's really talk about how can we embody it and grow into it.
Thank you. That's really key. How do we grow into it? Next, Shero Rhodes Alexander. What role has mentorship played in your journey in 1 minute?
That's an amazing question, because my journey started with someone mentoring me. Even before I became an entrepreneur, I was in the corporate world, and I was in a position where my job was going away. I didn't get a promotion because I didn't have a certain degree. And a Black female executive wrote a check for $1,000 for me. And that check changed the trajectory of my life, and it's still paying dividends today. Oh. Because she invested in me. She saw my potential before I did. That's awesome. And it was that investment that allowed me to go back to school full time, obtain my degrees, and then begin my career in the corporate world. And after that, went back, got my master's, and continued in the corporate world, thinking that was what I needed to do to be seen, to be enough. And the reality it was not. There were things that I was holding on to that I needed to learn how to heal from and to let go. And that's what led me to become a mentor to so many others.
That's awesome.
Who look like me and who have experiences in the corporate world that did not see or value who they were and what they had to offer.
Yeah. I know that from firsthand experience myself. So thank you. Mel Carr, what advice would you give about building strong business relationships?
I love it, because it's all about relationships. So I like to say, let's be intentional, not transactional. Like, we're all here just giving value and knowledge. So meaningful relationships aren't built on just handing out your business cards, because they're most likely going to get thrown away. They're built on showing up, but do it consistently on a regular basis. Add value, like really care about who you're in the room with, because that will go farther. Those people will remember you. Just before this event, I was on a podcast, and you kind of hear I'm nasally. I'm not feeling good. I almost canceled it, but I was like, no, I've got to do this. Jen Simpson from Toronto, we had an amazing conversation. Now I have a collaborator, a supporter, a friend for life that we can work on great things that would never have happened if we hadn't reached out for the podcast. So just ask, Community is your intellectual currency.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Next, Rebecca Whitman. What mindset shift helped you overcome challenges?
I would say getting out of victim mentality and taking total responsibility for creating my reality. I used to be a victim, and I was in a very toxic marriage where I was verbally and emotionally abused. And I could have just taken that turning point in my life and given up on my goals and dreams. But instead, I challenged that pain into writing a book and launching a coaching program to empower women. And I like telling my clients that we go from victim to victor when we step into our power and we embrace our true authenticity and we shout it from the rooftops without feeling invisible, but again, feeling visible and just unapologetically authentic. So that is just to finish up, things are not happening to you, they're happening for you.
Yes.
And look for the blessing in the mess.
Amen. Great answer. Kristen, how do you prioritize when everything feels urgent? Yesterday.
Yes, that's such a good question for all of us high achieving women and Sheros. We, I think, often have a hard time prioritizing. I know I speak for myself. I have a hard time with it. But I do my best. I give myself grace. That's a big one. I communicate. So I run Joyful Communications. A huge part of managing my relationships is communication. So if I need to extend a deadline, communicate it. I prioritize, I live by my Google Calendar. So I block off times for everything that I do. I have manager days where I'm really managing all the projects going on and my team. And then I have maker days where this is a concept from Layla Hormozi, where I'm focused and I'm really making sure that I'm just in it. I'm writing a book, I'm editing a book, I'm in that deep focus time. And so I separate those times and I prioritize by really, if you think of it like present comes first, meaning bottom line, current paying clients and projects, they get my number one attention, right? That's paying the bills and paying my people. I would say second is future efforts, right? I love to network. I love to build relationships. I love to meet new people. That's what keeps the future of the business going. So that gets my second priority. And then third would be past and future together, kind of a combo of doing the necessary administrative tasks you got to do to run a business, but also nurturing the relationships that I have built over time. As Mel said, those relationships are everything. So it's it's a dance. It's finding a balance with all of it, but in the midst of all of it, giving myself grace too.
That's great. And I love to dance. Okay, last round question of number 2. We have Miss Ella J. What has entrepreneurship taught you about leadership?
Wonderful question. And I would like to just echo everything that everyone has said because I've been through that too. So what entrepreneurship has taught me is that performance and leadership are not the same thing.
Yes.
You can be highly capable, productive, and successful while still operating from expectations and control. And that's not leadership, that's just maintenance.
Yeah.
Real leadership comes from your internal authority, where your decisions aren't driven by what you've learned to sustain, but what's actually true for you. And that evolution changes everything.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All right, ladies, this is our last round of questions. This final round, our theme is going to be strategy and success. Let's go with LaQuincia. What strategy has helped you grow your business consistently? 30 seconds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll keep it tight for you. The strategy that changed everything for me was really centering my business around the one pain point that I knew I couldn't ignore. And that was women paying that sort of quiet tax in the conversations they avoid. When I first launched my business, I wanted to be everything to everyone. And in that, I served no one. So the clearer I got, the clearer my business got, the more strategic I became, and the more success I started to find. Leaning into my conflict clarity lab, leaning into my Spark framework, my talks, my podcasts, everything I do echo back to the women who's been swallowing those hard conversations for years. So when they meet me, when we speak, when we talk, they have already had a chance to recognize a bit of themselves in me, and it's no longer a hard sale, right? They're waiting to have this conversation. They're open. They know that I'm going to give them that guided support. While it may be a bit challenging, once you cross that edge, I'm going to be there to support you. I'm not going to leave you hanging by yourself. They trust me faster. They feel seen. They're ready to step in the work that actually allows them to change how they move through the world. And they have a person that's going to hold their hand as they're doing it.
Right. That's what Sheros do. We hold each other.
There we go.
Next, Cheryl, what daily habits keep you grounded and focused?
Prayer and meditation, and just aligning myself with my divine creator, and knowing that once I'm in alignment with him, everything else will fall into place. True. And allowing myself the time to truly hear his voice and to respond accordingly to what he says. And everyone has said it, and it's just so true. One of my words for this year is alignment, and I've heard it throughout this whole event today is alignment. And so often as women leaders, we, instead of being in alignment, we're misaligned, and that misalignment comes from learning how to adapt.
Yeah.
We are in this adaptation mode where we adapt to the environments, we adapt to the circumstances that require us to perform, to achieve, to push through, but then that's not leading and that's not being sustainable.
Yeah.
And we can't, and it comes at a cost.
It does.
And so just staying grounded, knowing what we have to do to heal our brokenness, so that we can be in alignment. And healing only comes when we are still and when we're quiet and when we allow the Holy Spirit and allow God to speak to us and to speak to those parts of us that have been broken, that have been wounded, and allow him to heal as only he can do.
Thank you. Mel Carr, what networking strategy actually works for entrepreneurs, in your opinion?
Wow.
What works for you?
Yeah. Tell your story on stages, virtual, in person, I don't care, podcasts, panels like this, like any type of speaking opportunity for you to come together, because being on other people's stages, virtual and in person, multiplies your reach without like multiplying all of our time and effort. Right. One story told on the right platform can bring in clients, collaborators, opportunities you didn't even know existed. However, not all rooms are the right rooms for you. So don't get discouraged if you're not feeling it when you walk into that room. Yeah. Try again.
Thank you. Rebecca, what is one branding or visibility tip you swear by?
One branding or visibility tip that I swear by is a technique called 1 minute to win it. Talk to the camera every day on stories, lives, or reels for just 1 minute to win it. And everybody has 1 minute out of their busy day. Yeah. You could talk about anything going on from your business to your personal life, to your pets, to your kids, anything. But I would suggest everybody do 1 minute to win it to change your visibility on social media.
Great tip. Thank you. Kristen, what systems help you stay organized and consistent?
There are a lot, but instead of listing them out, I'm going to say that more important, and this is what kind of directs all my systems, are questions. And there are two questions. One is who can help me with this? So the concept of who, not how. There's a book with that title by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy that I highly recommend. I have weekly and monthly recurring meetings with my team members, with my financial advisors, with people who help me stay on track. Those are my core people. So they uphold systems for me that makes my job easier. And then second question would be, what would it look like if this were easy? And that helps me. That's something from a Timothy Ferriss podcast. And he asked that question, and I love that, because when we walk into a situation, or we're about to walk into a situation that might feel difficult, or we don't know what to say, or we don't know what the outcome is going to be, just visualizing, asking ourselves, what would it look like if it were easy? I've been using this a lot lately, and it's incredible how well it works, that power of visualization. And it changes, because it changes how you're going to respond and act in that situation. So those are a little more questions and systems, but they drive my choices for systems. And one of the easiest systems I use is by going to a networking group. I'm part of a BNI chapter, and there is all of the systems built in. So when you track all of your things like referrals and thank you for closed business and, continuing education, when those are tracked as part of what you're a part of, it makes the system easy for you to follow.
Awesome. Thank you. Good answer. Final question in this round, Miss Ella. What advice would you give a woman who is building her personal brand? What advice would you give her in 1 minute?
Thank you. So the advice that I would give her is to be honest with yourself. Who are you? How do you operate? Mm-hmm. Because many of us build a brand based on expectation. And what do other people think? What are they going to like? What's it supposed to look like? And that works for a little while, but it's not sustainable. And if your brand is built from performance based on expectations, you'll constantly be trying to maintain it. So build your brand based on who you are, your internal strengths. Coming from that foundation, you will be connected with yourself, aligned with yourself. You'll understand that rest is also a verb, which means it's an action. Okay? So it's okay to rest. So the work is not just building the brand, it's understand what's driving you as you build it.
Awesome. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I just want to recap. We have LaQuincia Nichols, experiencecoaching.com, Shero Rhodes Alexander of Life Design Coaching, Mel Carr, Six Figure Chicks, Rebecca Elizabeth Whitman of The Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant, Kristen Higgins, Joyful Communications, and LJ of LJ's LLC. I'm going to throw out a final rapid fire question to all of our amazing speakers. And by the way, in the chat, please go in if you have any questions. Please put those questions in the chat. The speakers are going to receive all of your questions that they will be able to connect with you. You can start connecting with them if you want to do business with them. All of their info will be in the chat. So here we go. LaQuincia, if a woman is afraid to start, what's the one step she can take this week? 30 seconds.
I say for the woman who's afraid to start, the best advice I was given was do it anyway, do it scared.
Amen.
And also find one person who is truly a supporter, an advocate of you, let them know of the goal and ask them for their support. Lock
Amen.
Arms with the right community.
Good question. Mel Carr, if a woman is afraid to start, what can she do this week?
Ask for help. We all love giving knowledge and value, and we love helping other people. So please, you are not alone. Other people want to see you succeed. I want every single woman in here to be more successful than me. So ask away, please. You're not alone.
Rebecca, if a woman says, I want to start a business, but I don't have money, what's the one suggestion you give her this week?
Other people's money. Ask people if they're willing to invest in your business, whether it's $100 or $1,000, and talk about the vision of what you're creating in the future, vision cast, and tell the person what a big difference they're going to make in your lives and the lives of so many others. And just talk about how excited you are, and your attitude is everything, and enthusiasm is contagious. So talk about your business with enthusiasm and ask, and eat rejection for breakfast. Don't take it personally if people say they won't help you. Just keep asking more and more people until you get enough money to start your business.
Thank you. Cheryl, if the door is closed, how do you move forward?
Knock anyway.
Good answer. Good answer. I love it. Knock anyway. Let's see, Kristen, what's the one thing you want to add? What's your final Shero statement?
My final Shero statement. Your voice matters. Use it wisely. Words are powerful. And they can heal and transform.
All right. And Miss LJ, one word of encouragement to a Shero who's having a bad day.
The word of encouragement is find a friend, someone in your community, and express it. If you hold it in, it's just going to continue to eat at you and waste your time. Find a group of women that you can say, hey, this is what's happening for me today, and just express every emotion that comes out of you, because that's it. Otherwise, you'll be living in survival. You've got to express it out of your body. So if you think about it, when an animal is agitated and stressed, what do? They literally shake the stress out. So
shake it
off.
We're
going to do that right now. You just shake it out. and you can tell someone else about it as well. And that is how you can make it through that bad day.
Thank you.
It looks fun doing it right here, but you'll be behind your own closed doors.
All righty. All right. Thank you so much, my amazing panel of speakers. Everyone, let's please show them some love in the chat. Anyone you want to specifically work with and reach out to, please put it in the chat. We're going to send you all of their information so that you all can connect, collaborate, share your stories, write your books, be on the podcast, hire them as a coach, hire them as an editor, read their journals, support these women as they support you, because the goal is, like Mel said, we want to see every woman in this room more successful, because if we can lead and guide you to being successful, we all win, because it's really making the world better, safer, more lovable for all of us. And that's a huge part of being a Shero. So again, everyone, thank you, my amazing speakers. Give them some love in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is hard to believe we are almost down to the last hour of this amazing Shero event. And I have to tell you, I could not have done this without the help of a team of angels, Sheros, and heroes behind me. I want to give a shout out to my entire team. I want to shout out to Mary Ann Razzo, who is my virtual assistant from the Philippines. She'll be joining us soon. To my assistant, Talia, who helps me with our sober living business, Making Things Better Sober Living. I'm going to be bringing our moderator into the room in just a minute, who is also my business coach and the managing director of eWomen Network, Veronica Bond. And I definitely have to give a shout out to Bill Blasso here at Podwork Studio in Mesa, because it has been such a wonderful experience producing this event, being in this amazing, beautiful environment to share hopes, encouragement, inspiration, dreams, tips, and suggestions on how we can help each Shero achieve her goals and her dreams. You know, as I sit here before you, you know, and many of you know my story of overcoming homelessness and addiction and not believing in myself and not thinking that I was good enough or I could never achieve anything. My life changed, like many of the speakers that you have heard today, that the moment I started to believe in myself and my ability to do my best, not competing with anyone else, not being in competition with another Shero, but really going after my goals and my dreams, it changed my life. If you want your life to change, go in the chat right now and type, "I'm ready." If you're ready to elevate your life, your business, we are here to help you. As you see, I have a team of people who are ready to help pour into you, whether it's publishing, speaking, if you need coaching, mentoring, starting a business, transitioning from corporate into entrepreneurship. We have a team who can help you reach your goals and dreams. This fall, we will be celebrating our first inaugural Shero Gala on November 21st, and I will be looking for speakers and presenters to also help celebrate and bring that event live here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we will be celebrating women all over the world. So right now, I'm going to take a quick little break so that we can get our moderator in the room. I have a few little announcements to make before we jump into the VIP session, and we will be right back. Give me a minute, okay? Thank you. Welcome back. All right. What an amazing day this has been. I am truly honored and blessed that so many of you have supported this Shero movement and supported the speakers and this event. It was a heartfelt project with a lot of love and energy put into it. And right now, before we go into the VIP session, I wanted to show you real quick the VIP swag box that I have here. And I'm going to be talking about this with my amazing moderator and business coach, as well as the managing director of eWomen Network, Miss Veronica Bond.
Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's so great to be here. How amazing was this day? And I know, Brenda, you really want to get into the Shero box, but I wanted to gift you something.
Oh.
And I wanted you to have these tulips. And the reason why I chose the tulips is they will bloom every year at this time. And you will remember this day. Oh. You remember the energy, the time, the dream, the moment. Every time they bloom in your yard, you will remember the seeds that you planted today. The seed that was planted in you to create something amazing internationally and for women all over the world to step into their Shero power. And you lit the path to guide them to today. And I'm so grateful for you for taking a vision that you and I spoke about and actually taking action and moving forward, because so many want what leaders have. So many want that golden nugget, but either they don't know how to get there, or they don't know how to take the action, or like today was shared with all the panel and the speakers, they don't have belief. And you are breathing belief into everyone who had the opportunity to come on and stream today and be part of this. So here is more than 2 lips, lots of lips on here.
Thank
for you. For your future planting.
Just put them right there.
So we'll just do that for a minute. Yes, okay. There we go.
So we're going to be closing out in about 4 minutes, and then you'll need to log out of this. And for those of you that are in the VIP room, you'll log into the VIP Zoom and we will get started. Just wanted to show you real quick a few little nuggets in the VIP swag box. So, of course, a bottle of wine that all Sheros need.
Oh, I love this.
Some Shero gear.
It can also be a coffee mug.
It's a coffee mug.
Yeah, I love that.
And some sunglasses. This is from Tracy Kester. She is a certified mindset and wellness coach. Oh, you look so cute.
I'm taking these with me.
Lots of health
Tracy.
and wellness and some spa goodies. Of course, we have Finding My Shoes. This is my life story. You can find this on Amazon. It gives you all the details. We have a journal by Shero Alexander.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl.
Of course, we have the international best-selling book, Shero Entrepreneurs.
I need to hold something.
Veronica Bond, here, explain your gift.
Oh, just this, everything you need to remind yourself, be a little sunshine in the world.
Yay! And for a little bit of comedy, we have Who Made the Potato Salad by Dr. Brenda Combs, available on Amazon. We have some wipes. We have some flowers, a candle. Every girl needs a silver glitter wallet. Everyone gets one. We have the joy of communication here. Let me turn this around. Oops. Sorry. It's falling out of my hand.
I got that one. Joyful Communications.
That's Kristen.
Okay.
She's the editor for our upcoming
Kristen
Shero
Huggins,
book.
thank you. Amazing.
We have G Mama's a Soul Food. She's a great cook.
Thank you, G Mama. Love
We
that.
also have the Shero social media content planner.
We could all use more ideas on content. I think Rebecca said that. Show up on social, everybody.
So listen, everyone,
Okay.
as we close out, you want to stay connected, please. You can find me on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, my website, brendacombs.com. And we'll have more information in the VIP networking. Thank you. Congratulations to Sheros all over the world as we have made history on International Shero Entrepreneur Day, March 28th, 2026, ingrained in history from now until the end of time. It is International Shero Entrepreneur Day. I love you all. Stay safe, believe in yourself, and know you got what it takes to make your goals and dreams become a reality. Happy International Shero Day.